I'm Danny with BuyRadarDetectors.com. In this video, we're going to be unboxing and taking a closer look at the fairly new Escort 8500 X50 Black Radar Detector. This is a very popular radar detector from Escort. It's actually a revision of the prior Escort 8500 X50 radar detector. This one is the black version, which cosmetically the only difference is the case is black, but Escort has made a performance increase as well, claiming sensitivity is now up to 40% greater than the previous version. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Escort 8500 X50 Black. I'm going to be opening this box, giving you a detailed look at what's included with the radar detector. We're also going to be powering it up and going through some of the settings, and I'll explain what each of the settings do. That'll help you get going if you've just purchased one of these, help you get it set up and configured the way it needs to be so that it runs best for you. Take a look at the box to start with. Here's the front and the back, and let's open it up and take a look inside. Okay, let's take a look at what's inside the box. Okay. Zippered case. We also have a few manuals. Escort, thanks for purchasing. Here is an ad for the new Escort Smart Plug Live, which allows you to connect your smartphone, your iPhone or an Android phone, to your Escort and get share alerts with other drivers. Pretty neat. Manual and a catalog for other Escort products. Let's take a look at this. This is a pretty nice zippered travel case. It's made of nylon, pretty sturdy. This is a good way to store your detector. If you're in a public area and you parked your car and you want to discourage theft as much as possible, it's good to keep this in the car with you and kind of tuck the detector away in it when you're away from the vehicle, and maybe slide it under a seat or something. This is the detector itself. Also here, going to have the power cord. This is the detector, probably 6 inches long, an inch tall, not very heavy. Also includes windshield mount. When you install this, you want to press this button in, slide it, it'll lock into place. You can stick this on your windshield, and then you may have to bend it up or down slightly to make sure the detector is completely level. Smart cord, power cord, plugs into the detector on the side, and this plugs into your car. While the detector is on and has power, you're going to have a light on here. While you're receiving an alert, you're going to have a light here that will flash. And this button is a mute button. If it's sort of a reach for you to press the actual mute button on the front of the detector, then you can just press this one on your smart cord. It's a little more convenient. Now, let's power this up and go through some of the settings. Alright, we have power connected to the Escort 8500 X50 Black, and now I will take you through, tell you what each of the buttons do, and we'll run through some of the settings, and I'll explain what they do. To start with, this is the power/volume knob. One click turns the power on the detector, and of course you can slide it to control the volume. We also have two buttons on the top. This one controls the sensitivity, marked city. This one controls the display brightness, and it's marked dim. Let's show you what your city options are. By default, this is going to be on auto sensitivity mode, which means the detector is going to automatically set its sensitivity based on the way it detects your driving conditions to be. Pressing one time the city button will switch you to city mode. In city mode, you're going to have reduced sensitivity, and this is going to reduce the false alerts that you would normally receive in an area where there's lots of radar sources, which would come from grocery stores and automatic door openers and things like that. Another press will get us into highway mode. That is going to be wide open, maximum sensitivity. This is good for interstate driving or anytime you want maximum sensitivity and you're not around a lot of radar sources that might cause some annoying false alerts. Put it back in auto for now, and I'll show you the dim function. Right out of the box, this is going to be in maximum bright mode, and you can see the display looks very nice. It's very intense blue. It looks great at night, yet it's still very easy to read during the daylight. And we are looking here at the blue display model of this detector. There's also a version with a red display that sells for around $30 less. And the only difference between the red and the blue, other than the $30, is the display color. One press of the dim button will put this detector into dark mode. In dark mode, all you're going to see is a very faint AD. That means I'm in auto mode and dark. When I get alerts in dark mode, the display won't do anything. You'll only hear them. You won't see anything on the display. This is good if you're driving at night and you've got a lot of cars around you and you don't want them to know you're using a radar detector. Another press will put it in the darkest working display setting in medium and back to maximum. On the front of this detector is the mute button. It's marked mute. This doesn't look like a button right away, but if you get an alert, you can just kind of press the front of the detector and it'll mute it. It's a lot easier to press than the ones on the top, especially if you've got a steep reach on your dash. Those are the only buttons on this other than the quick windshield release. But we also have an audio port here. Any standard 3.5 millimeter headset or headphones, earbuds will work into this, or there are external speakers you can purchase to get louder alerts. They would plug into this port, and when you have something plugged into this port, the speaker in the detector that's built in will no longer produce alerts. All alerts from the detector are going to go through this audio port to your headsets or whatever you have connected. This is your power cord. This is the area where the detector receives radar and front laser. This right here is where the detector will receive rear laser alerts. Now I'm going to turn this off and bring it back up into program mode. In program mode, we can go into the menu and change some of the settings. To get into program mode, you have to hold down both of these buttons while turning on the detector. You also have to be quick to press one of these buttons or else it'll leave program mode fairly quickly. The first setting we have is pilot. In pilot, you can choose what you want the display to do when it's not receiving an alert. You have quite a few options to choose from. This one gives you the full word, highway, city, or auto. This represents highway, city, or auto by a single letter. This one represents it with a single letter, but gives you a dot to indicate it's scanning. This setting represents highway with a plus, city with a minus, auto with a dot, to give you even less to look at on your screen. This is the same as before, but with a dot for scanning. This is the plus minus only, and this shows your vehicle voltage as the idle display. Here, I will select one of these with the dot, the scanning dot, to show you kind of what that looks like. See, we have a single letter representing auto scan, and then a dot just kind of dances across the screen to make it look like we're searching for a signal. Let's go back into program mode and we'll look at the next option. Here we have the power on settings, standard and fast. As you've seen me turn this on and off a few times now, it goes through a like sample of all of the alerts. That's standard mode. If you set fast, it's just going to turn on and immediately be ready to detect radar. You won't hear all the beeps. Meter is going to be the way the display looks while it's detecting a signal. We have standard before. This is expert. Expert means the display is going to be set up to show you multiple signals at once. You'll see a section of the display for X, K, and KA. And the other option here, the spec display, when you receive an alert, you'll see the exact frequency of the alert that you're receiving. The next option is auto mute. With auto mute on, instead of playing an alert out loud for the entire time that you're receiving a signal, you're only going to get an alert for a few seconds, and then the detector will automatically mute itself. And your options there are on and off. Tone allows you to select the type of tones that you're going to hear when an alert is detected, or when radar is detected. You have standard and loud. Loud chooses a set of tones that are even more piercing than the normal ones, and that's going to be good if you have a loud vehicle or a vehicle that lets in a lot of outside noise. This setting allows you to choose what happens when you're in city mode. You have standard city mode, which reduces the sensitivity of the X band, low X, and no X as options. In low X mode, X band is going to be reduced even further than the standard, and in no X, X band detection will be turned off completely. Brightness, adjust what brightness level is selected when the detector is first turned on. By default, it's going to be last, which means whatever you selected before will work, or you can automatically have it come up to minimum, medium, maximum, or dark when the detector is turned on. Dark allows you to adjust what happens in dark mode. Do you want to see that little AD that we looked at earlier, or you can also turn it off completely. Let me go through this again. Standard, which is what we looked at, and then all, which means complete darkness on the display when you select dark mode. Bands, here it allows you to turn on and off each band. The TSR feature, KA, pop, you can turn on and off, laser on and off. This gives you more control. If you know that pop isn't used in your area, for example, or X, you can turn it off. And that's all for the settings. Get this back to default. If you have any questions or run into any issues, don't hesitate to give us a call at 1-800-584-1445 and we'll be happy to assist. Thanks for watching.